Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Kaba Ilco number 1092VM. This is a master key blank is what it is. The bow of the blank certainly looks like master padlocks. Trying to get the camera to focus there, we're way too close for that, but we've got some images down below that will allow us to get up and close personal with it. That's what that key blank looks like. The milling profile of the key blank itself is shown here. Shoulder stop on the top. Pretty simple profile there. Now, these are sold in any quantity. This client happened to buy 50. They would come in a box like this. Each of this, in this box would come 10 bags, 5 bags of 10 blanks each is what would be in this box. Now, let's switch to the screen view and let's take a look at the supporting information. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Here is the key blank that we are looking at. Not much to see here except the line art silhouette of the blank from the manufacturer's catalog. This is what's called the milling profile. I realize it's called the milling profile because that's what the factory calls it. It might be better understood as the broaching profile because this is what the cylinder looks like. You would broach the cylinder and you would mill the key blank. So this is the cylinder plug. So when you're looking at the tip of the key, it's going to look symmetrically opposite of this profile. This is what you see when you look down into the cylinder itself. Okay, a little confusing, but once you get your brain accustomed to flipping it around, it's pretty easy, I suppose. There are some images down below of this item. The blank 1092 VM M5. It's a broaching, thumb side up if you're right-handed. Back side of the blank, and then the broaching profile of that, or the milling profile. Now, supporting information. Let's take a look. There's a link here to the manufacturer's page, and from here you can pull up not only all of the Kaba Ilco products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as several encyclopedic documents that are here. Lots of them. A lot of these documents refer to key machines that are both currently manufactured and items that are no longer available. What I'm trying to draw your attention to is the key blank catalog that's here. Let's go ahead and open that up and then do a find function on your keyboard, Control F, for the 1092 VM, and you'll find all instances of where that key blank shows up. It shows up 11 times, it seems. So as you scroll through here, first shows up in the index, then shows up in the manufacturer's page, which is section 2, which they call North American cylinders. Section 2, all of the sections are alphabetical, at least section 2 is. Master. Lots of master blanks are listed here. Section 2, page 41, Section 2, page 42, Section 2, page 43. So there's lots of them. And I'm going to show you another resource as well. While I have not been able to find every key blank that I need from Master, there was one that eluded me, and it turns out it was a restricted key blank, so it's not published anywhere. And while we were able to supply the blank to the client, I wasn't able to use this document to determine that. But what I'm driving at is, when you're looking at this milling profile, and this is turned on its side, if you rotate it so that you can see it in the proper orientation, okay, now you can start to think that's the cylinder itself. And then look at your key blank and see if that makes sense. Now, as I had mentioned, it shows up many other places in the catalog as well, but it shows up primarily in cross-reference charts. So the third instance, if you have this Ilco 1092 VM, if you want to convert it to a Cole key blank number, well, it's going to be the Cole M3. The next instance gives you the Dominion part number, and vice versa, of course. The next instance is the Ilco easy number. After that will be the jet part number. Or factory original part number, the 81KM, that's really handy. You're probably looking for 81KM and want to see if Ilco makes one. Orion to Ilco. Maybe Silka. Yeah, Silka to Ilco. There's your Silka number. And you get the point. You've got star key blanks here as well. It's a pretty handy document. Now, speaking of handy documents, let's go back to the website. Find the word manufacturers. Currently it's down right of center. And then when that page loads, Control F for the name master. And keep hitting that until you come up with master lock. There. Now there is a technical manual that's here. This is the manufacturer's original technical manual as far as it contains everything that they publish. Now what's handy about this document is obvious, how to work on some of their cylinders. But the keys and keyways page on page 24, which I literally have as a separate standalone document here. Now 81KM, if you recall, what we were looking at, I think that's what the part number was. They call it a K81KM. That broaching looks awfully familiar. Admittedly, I do not know what KM stands for. So it would be guesswork on my part. I'd have to call the factory and ask them. And they're exceptional when you speak to them. It's just an investment in time. But once you get someone on the phone, they're really, really very, very knowledgeable about their product line. So this document will also help very much. But if it's a restricted blank, you won't find it here, as is considered industry standard, naturally, not to publish profiles of blanks that whoever holds those blanks and those locks in their facility certainly don't want the broaching or milling profile published. Okay. Now, let's wrap up this video on camera. Before we do so, that link to the manufacturer's page. Other items of note here. The Kaba Ilco brass cylinder manual, that's worth a look. Everything mortise and rim cylinder related. They also have aluminum storefront material here. Here's an aluminum storefront catalog. They also have an article written by probably William Link, who is an ALOA ACE certified master locksmith, educator, author, industry leader on Kaba Gemini. I believe he's the author. I'm quite sure that he is. I don't see it. Well, we can just... Yeah, I don't see his name published here, but I believe he is the author of this document. This relates to positional master keying. It's like binary. Either it exists or it doesn't. A really interesting theory that admittedly does escape me a little bit, but is not a standard take on pin tumbler cylinders the way that we understand how to master key them. So interesting deep dive reading that's there. Lots of other encyclopedic documents. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. In conclusion, typical key blank for master padlocks. You can buy one, you can buy any quantity that you want. If you buy 10, they'll ship likely in a bag like this. Not necessarily, but they probably will. I'm very partial to Kaba Ilco as a key blank manufacturer, and there are other choices, most definitely. And I'm sure they're all excellent. But what I can tell you is that in 30 years, there's only been one key blank that I cut that I know was a factory defect because I measured it. The root height, I could tell that the bottom root of the blank had been truncated somehow. And that there would be tens and tens and tens of thousands of key blanks cut. That track record is just phenomenal. There's also a gentleman who is the manager of the cylinder department who is an inexhaustive source of technical support for me, and to him I say thank you very much. Any questions on the Kaba Ilco 1092VM or any other Kaba Ilco key blank, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.
Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.